there, it's Gord back again with part 4 of the Astra Militarum Codex review. And today I'm going to be going over the elites. Now, elites changed a lot. I don't think a single unit stayed the same. Well, yeah, they all changed quite a bit. Either new special rules, completely new units, the new system, like the stormtroopers changed immensely. Ratlings and Ogrins just kind of got rules changes. Psychers, the Wyverdeen, whatever they are, Psychers. Well, they changed a bit, you know. Lost some stuff. Anyways, I'll get into that. Might as well just go through everything, I guess. So our first elite choice is the Ogrins. Now, I believe they got worse. They cost the exact same amount of points. They still are stubborn. They went from being bulky to being very bulky, which is not very good, because now they're going to take up 3 spaces instead of 2. I think I went over this when I talked about Nork. Anyways, yeah, 3 spaces instead of 2. And they lost Furious Charge, but gained Hammer of Wrath. So kind of you get a free hit in, but when you assault, you're only going to be toughness or strength 5 instead of 6. That strength 6 is great if you're assaulting a vehicle, because then you're like AV-10, which most vehicles' rears are. You're glancing on 4s, depending on 5s and 6s. But now you're going to be glancing on 5s, depending on 6s. You have a 1 in 3 chance of doing a hull point now. Not really worth it. You can still have squads of 10. The bownet stays the same. Everything basically stays the same except for those few special rules. The Hammer of Wrath instead of Furious Charge, and the very bulky instead of bulky. They are still stubborn, which is good, because without it, they would be absolutely useless. At Leadership 6, unless you take a bownet, then it's Leadership 7. Some good things about them, though, is you can join commissars to them. So you can stick a commissar with a power fist in there for some extra hard-hitting power. And then you're almost guaranteed to never run away. Or you can stick a priest in there, make them fearless, and they can now benefit from war hymns. They couldn't do that before. So they never used to be able to get the reroll to hit. But now they can. So I'm thinking if you are going to run Ogrins, it's almost a must to bring either a commissar, a priest, or both in the squad with them. As for transports, your only real option is going to be the Chimera. Yeah. And it's going to be a squad of 3 with a a priest and a rabbi. No. A priest and a commissar in the squad with them, and then you have 1 empty space. Maybe a psyker with them? I don't know. Yeah. They're not going to be as easy. You're going to have to foot slog them, basically. Then from Ogrins, we'll jump into their kind of like older brother, the Bulgrins. They have the exact same stat line as Ogrins do, so everything's the same. Same special rules, Hammer of Wrath, Stubborn, Bulky. But, oh, sorry, they don't have the same stat line because they have Carapace armor instead of Flak armor. So they have a 4-up instead of a 5-up. Which is great. Makes them more survivable. They also have the Grenader Gauntlet, which I'm going to have to check here. But I believe it's basically a frag shooting grenade launcher. But I can only shoot frags, I can't shoot cracks. Let's double check here. It shoots a strength 4 AP 6 frag, basically, but only at 12-inch range. Pretty good. I suppose if you're going to be fighting like a horde of gaunts or orcs or guardsmen, it'll do lots of damage. But it's not that great. Only 12-inch range for a small blast. They're probably going to end up hurting themselves with it. They also have their slab shields. Now these are pretty neat. These are the only reason I'd really take the Bullgrims. Because what they do is, let me get the exact wording here. Slab shields. If they're in base-to-base contact with another model with a slab shield, so if you have two Bullgrims right beside each other, base-to-base contact, you get +1 to your armor save. So you go from a 4 up to a 3 up, which is good. You're now up to a marine save. Also, if you are blocking line of sight, like you're an intervening model with a slab shield, you get +1 to cover. Now this is kind of a double-edged sword, because if you have your Bullgrims out front, and then all your guys in behind, then all your guys are going to get a 4 up cover from intervening models, the 5 up, +1 for the slab shields, so 4 up cover save, which is going to be better than our armor saves. However, if you're shooting through your own Bullgrims at a unit, they're also going to get that same 4 up, or possibly even better if they have stealth. If they're in ruins, you're going to give them a 3 up cover save. Like, it's kind of a double-edged sword there, so I suggest if you are running them, either run them in front of a unit that's not going to be shooting, like an assaulting blob, or make sure you move them off to the side and then shoot with your unit and then run them back up in front, and like as they move forward. So move, run, move, run until you are in assault range, and obviously don't run them because then you get assault. Their other options are, instead of having the slab shield and the Grenadier Gauntlet, you can give them a Power Maul and a Brute Shield. Power Mauls are pretty cool. It'll give you, I think, +2 strength and AP4 with concussive. So it'll make your Bullgrims attack first next time, instead of at Initiative Step 2. Well, at Initiative Step 2 they'll still attack, but they'll be going before something if it doesn't die from concussive. And the Brute Shield gives them a 5 up invul save, and they get to re-roll fail 2 wound rolls on Hammer of Wrath. That's not all that impressive to me. I like the Power Maul, but the Brute Shield's kind of lame. Like I said, I'd probably be taking them as slab shields for the 3 up armor and the cover save. I mean, I know you lose the Power Maul, which is pretty deadly. Maybe put in like 1 or 2 Power Mauls. Put them on like the edge, in the middle. Somewhere's within there. Doesn't really matter, as long as you're not breaking up 2 slab shield guys. So you're getting your 3 up armor saves. Maybe run them in front, so they get a 5 up invul. Let's say they had to have a slab shield as a model. Whatever model. If a model with a slab shield is in base contact with 1 or more models with a slab shield from the same unit. Okay, so you do need a slab shield to get the +1 armor save. So if you know you're not fighting a lot of AP3, run your slab shields up front, then do your brute shields behind. If you're running against a lot of AP3, like Militarum Tempestus, or you know there's going to be a lot of plasma rifles, or Eldar. If you're playing Eldar in general, run your brute shields up front for that 5 up invul. But the concussive is going to be handy, especially like on a monstrous creature. You hit it hopefully once, now you're attacking before it, and hopefully you can get in a couple more wounds before they kill off your entire squad with smash attacks. They're a bit more expensive than Ogrins. They're not that much more expensive. They can take the same transport, but once again very bulky. They're gonna be better at foot slogging. Their shields are better for foot slogging. So yeah, they're them. I might be running them. I don't have any, obviously, right now. I don't really have any of the elites. I think I have 3 ratlings. So, if I'm going to start running elites, I'm going to have to start buying a bunch of stuff. I would eventually like to start running ogrins and bulgrins because I think they're cool. I don't think they're that great. I think they're cool. But who knows, they could turn out to be awesome. So our next elite choice is ratlings. Now, they stayed basically the same stat line. Flak armor, last pistol, sniper rifle, same points. They still have infiltrate and stealth. But now they have something called shoot, sharp, and scramp. Shoot, sharp, and scrapper. Which is basically the exact same as their order. Name. Forward for the Emperor. So, our ratlings now, I mean, they're heavy weapons because they're snipers. So you're not going to be moving in the movement phase. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be shooting, and then you get to run. Always. They're hell there now. So yeah, so you're not giving up mobility with them. You actually gained quite a bit of mobility. I think that's going to be great because you can say, move. No, you're not going to move. Like, infiltrate them in turn 1 into somewhere where you can get some good shots off on, like a monstrous creature, a unit with an independent character you want to try to snipe out of there. Hopefully kill it off and then run into better cover, or into cover in general. So that way you get your +1 to cover from stealth, and hopefully they can survive for another turn of picking up another unit and running away. They're going to be an awesome disruption unit. Great for kind of like stealth suits. You put them in the backfield, you plink away shots. They're not going to be like the unit that kills everything, but if you don't either break off half your squad to go, like, part of your army to go deal with them, then they're just going to keep picking you apart, or score a line breaker, which is 1 victory point. And you don't want to be giving up victory points ever. Or, they're just going to be picking you apart, or you have to deal with them, and then your main force has a lot more power to fire. I mean, they're not the most survivable if they're not in good cover. Try to get them in ruins, so that they'll have a 3-up cover save. If you can run, basically, from ruin to ruin, that'd be awesome. If you can't, then you can't. Yeah, they're really cheap. Even just to run them on the quad gun. They're ballistic skill 4 on a quad gun, and they're really cheap. It's going to be the best anti-air you can get. Well, the cheapest anti-air. I guess technically a Hydra is going to be cheaper, but it's going to be good anti-air for cheap. Is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, ratlings, I think A+. I want some more ratlings. The more I talk about them, the more I want them. So yeah, I might be getting some of those eventually here now, and running those in my battle reports. Our next elite choice was the Ward Vane, Ward, like Matt Ward. Anyways, Ward Vane Psychers. So those are the old Psyker battle squads. They're now Mastery level 1 with Brotherhood of the Psychers. Brotherhood of Psychers. So they'll be generating 1 power from Biomancy, Divination, Pyromancy, or Telekinesis. I believe they're the same points. I don't have my old codex with me anymore. I put that away in storage, so I can't exactly check. But I believe they're the same points. They lost the one, like, Overseer. They're now all considered 1 Psyker, instead of there being 1 Psyker and then a bunch of grunts all huddled around them. So when you take perils, just 1 guy's going to take a wound instead of you randomly picking off a couple guys. I can see running them. They're not as good as they used to be. but they still are pretty good. The best way I'm going to see is running them is if you already are taking 3 Primus Psychers, basically, in squads, or if you're going to be having a lone, like Manticore, Basilisk, or Death Strike. No, I don't really think you're going to need for the Death Strike missile, but any lone guns or tanks in your back that you want to give prescience to, this squad is going to be probably harder to kill off than a single Psyker. They're more expensive than a Mastery Level 1 Primus Psyker, but less than a Mastery Level 2. But they're also only Mastery Level 1. It's basically like a 5-wound Psyker with Mastery Level 1. Their leadership is only 8, so you're probably going to be failing a lot. It'd be better off just to take a Primus Psyker. Like I said, the only reason I can see taking them is if you already have all your Primus Psychers taken. And then you give them Divination for prescience, stick them behind a tank, because they can't join a squad like a Primus Psyker can, and just be giving like a Manticore prescience to re-roll his hits. Because that's so annoying, Barrage, and you're missing everything. And if you watch the last battle report that Corey and I did, you'll see that missing everything with your Manticore is terrible. I couldn't make a single hit roll if my life counted on it. And our final elite choice is the Militarum Tempestus Platoon. I think this is a pretty cool new unit. I like the platoons in general. They're a bit different than the infantry platoon because the command squad is optional. You can have 1 or 0, but you have to take at least 1 Militarum Tempestus Scion squad. So you can have 1 to 3 Scions and 1 command squad. I believe they're all the same points as they are in the Tempestus Militarum Tempestus Codex. If you guys don't have that, I can go over it really quickly. They're basically the same stats as a veteran. Yeah, they're the exact same stats as a veteran, except they all have Carapace armor, so you're going to get that 4-up armor save, which is great. They have Deep Strike and Move Through Cover, which is really nice, because that means you can Deep Strike them into cover, and they won't be taking dangerous terrain tests. That'll be great, so you give them some Flamers, or Melt-A-Guns, or their volley gun. That's what I want to take them for, really. This is the volley gun. Drop them into cover. You already have the Hotshot Las guns, which are AP 3. So if you're dropping in near Space Marines, you can wipe them out pretty quickly. You can give them plasma guns if you really want to. I'm not really going to see the point because you have the hot shots, which are going to be pretty deadly. The command squad has Claron Voxnet, and the Tempestor Prime, or basically your commander, has Voice of Command. I don't really remember what Claron Voxnet does, so I'm gonna just double check that one. Okay. So if you're within 18 inches and in the platoon, so if you're a Militarum Tempestus and you're in the commander's platoon within 18 inches of him, you can use his leadership for fear, morale, and pinning. I'm assuming when you're going to be Deep Striking in, because he has Voice of Command, you're going to be trying to be within that range, so you can drop in. He can issue you to first rank fire, second rank fire things. I know the hot shots range isn't as good as the regular las gun. It's only 18-inch range, so you're going to be trying to get within a 9-inch range of your enemy, which is pretty dangerous. And still 9 inches from your enemy, while being 12 inches from your command squad. So that way you can first rank fire, second rank fire. You drop in, first rank fire, second rank fire. That's 3 shots each. If you take a minimum squad, that's well, it's gonna be 13 strength 3, AP 3 shots going off at ballistic skill 4. That's gonna take out good chunks of Marines. That can do quite a bit of damage. That's probably going to do almost a guaranteed 2 wounds to a monstrous creature. Like a Tyranid one that's only basing these off of, you know, your standard toughness 6, AP, or armor 3. Give your command squad 4 volley guns. At turn 1 they come in, say they're 24 inches away, who cares? They still get their 2 shots at strength 4, AP 3. Turn 2, if they're still alive, you're getting 4 shots each at strength 4, AP 3, because of Slavo. Make sure you don't move them. And then you're going to be blasting away 16 shots. Just from 1 unit, all AP 3. That is going to be the bane of Marines. If you're playing Marine armies, I definitely suggest getting some Militarum Tempestus. Like if you're playing against Marine armies. If you're playing against a lot of like Tyranid monsters creature heavy lists, Militarum Tempestus, there's just so much AP 3 in there that it's hard to resist. Yeah, they're going to be great. Give the Scions some Meltaguns, drop them in on a unit, melt a tank. You can give them flamers to burn out an objective. They're going to be really versatile. I suggest giving them 2 of the same special weapon. They can only take 2 special weapons, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not, but they can only take 2 special weapons. They can take a Torox Prime or Chimera as a dedicated transport, but I'd honestly prefer just to deep strike them in. Yeah, especially if you take an officer of the fleet, try to give yourself +1 to reserve every turn. You're only probably going to need it at turn 2, because rolling a 2 up for 3 deep strike. Now this is one thing I don't know. Do they count as deep striking in as 1 unit, so do you roll 1 reserve roll? Or do you have to, like if you had 2 Scions and 1 command squad, you have to roll 3 separate rolls now. That I am very interested in. I'm going to do some more research on that. And if you guys know, tell me in the comments below. I know in the old codex, I don't think you rolled for everything individually. I think you rolled once for the entire platoon, and it either came in from reserve or it didn't. So I don't know if it says that in here or not. I don't remember reading it, but I'm gonna read over that more closely here now that I'm thinking about it. Really, that's it for elites. We got some pretty awesome new units, being the Tempestus. Totally mouth mistakes going on right now. The Militarum Tempestus platoon, awesome. Ratlings, awesome. Ogrins and Bulgrins. Bulgrins a bit better than Ogrins, but both of them pretty good. And the Wide Vein Psychers. I don't like the name. It's very convoluted. You know what? It'll grow on me. Astra Militarum's already growing on me, so Weedvern Psychers is gonna grow on me too. I just know it will. They're pretty good. So we got some pretty decent elite choices. Yeah, I'm looking forward to picking some up and starting to run them. Hopefully in some battle reports to come, you'll see me either with some Tempestus, some Ogrins or Bulgrins, or Ratling. I probably won't be running the Psychers, sorry guys. I have Primus Psychers, love them, gonna keep running them. So I don't see any point in the Weedvern Psychers right now. Yeah, my next purchases, if it's going to be elites, is going to be either the platoon or the Ratlings, because they're my top. Those are what I think the best elites we have are. Now, really, with the Militarum Tempestus platoon, you could always just ally with Militarum Tempestus Codex and have your Scion scoring, but I think that's just kind of lame. I'm not a big allies fan. I run my guard. I run my Astra Militarum, just straight Astra Militarum. I always ran my guard without allies. I'm a purist, I guess. I don't know. My Catchan don't need no help from outside armies. They can handle all this on their own. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. I've been Guardsman Gord here with the Astra Militarum Codex review. If you guys liked this, like, subscribe, leave some comments below, tell me your thoughts. If you know about that platoon thing for reserve, please let me know, because I'm going to be doing some studying. If I figure it out, I'll leave it in the comment below, so you guys can figure that out. Yeah, thanks for watching, and happy wargaming.